Some of you I don't know. You look familiar, though. There's some familiar folks. And most of you are my family. Hi. And we all are family. That's the point of what I'm bringing here today, is that we are one family. I went to the IONS conference in July, and the IONS Institute of Noetic Sciences was started by Edgar Mitchell, who was an astronaut. And he went out into outer space, and he had this spiritual awakening. Can you imagine being out there and looking at our planet Earth? Wow. Wow. And at that conference, there was a speaker there that someone reminded me of, Lynn McTaggart, The Power of Eight. And I've used this in the healing circle, and I've used it with the practitioners. But it's a process of bringing our intention together, and that we can change the world. That this last year has been a hard year, hasn't it? It's been a really hard year. It has. And we have the power and the ability with our intention, with our beliefs, with our love, to shift, to see new possibilities. Each and every one of you has that within you. Every one of you. Everyone. That you have that ability to see that vision and to hold that vision. To hold that vision. We are the creators. We are co-creating with God. We are co-creating with life. We are co-creating with the energy that is everywhere present, this oneness, that we have this within us to do. So yesterday I went over and visited my friend and healer and teacher, Sybil Pietascalzi. This is the second Sunday in a row she's been mentioned from the pulpit, by the way. And I was talking about asking her more about this thing we call the metaphysical chart. Is that dark enough? Maybe I'll go another one. The metaphysical chart is a representation of our creation, our creative abilities. And the circle represents the infinity of God. And we are in this. We are in God. That's all there is. All there is God. All there is love. All there is all of the spiritual qualities. I think of the spiritual qualities that love is the white light, that light that lights the world, and that the rainbows are all of the spiritual qualities, all the colors. Can you imagine all peace, hope, joy, love, compassion, courage, wholeness, all of the spiritual qualities that that's who we are. That's who we are. That's who we are. So this is the all of God. And coming down through here is spirit and creativity. And I have to say, Sybil, you taught me how to draw this better than I had before. Ernest Holmes was the founder of Science of Mind, which is now Centers for Spiritual Living. And he developed this chart, and he's got lots of charts, meaning lots of different things, and we're using the simplest meaning of it. So we have up here, coming down is spirit, is a creator, is essence, presence. And as this comes down through here, so if we have an idea, if we have an intention, say, I want to be more abundant. I want to know that life is full of all good for me. So you plant that seed, and it comes down through what we call the law, or the universal spiritual principles, which is what we have on our mission statement. The spiritual principles. And this law when we say, I am abundant, and the law, the spiritual principles, there's a little hook with a spiritual principle. One of the spiritual principles is that when you set an intention to change, that everything else unlike that comes up to be healed. So this is the gift of knowing spiritual principles. One of many is that I think it was on Friday, I was like frantic. I was like, I don't have anything to say. There's nothing for me to get up here to say. All my ego stuff, blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, okay, observe what you're doing, Emily. I was like, oh, it's that spiritual principle at work. That whatever you set your mind to do, boy, we sabotage ourselves. But that gives us the opportunity to see it. Say, oh, whoa, where'd that thought come from? Where did that thought come from? One of the things that I've done in my life is to face fears, because I'm loaded with fears. Anybody else here loaded with fears? A couple of you? Okay, good, you understand. Loaded with fears. In fact, there was one, it was when I was living by myself before I met my husband, Chad, and it was getting to be Christmas time. And I had this fear that what if I don't have anything to do on Christmas? What if there's nobody? So being the person that I am, what I did was I just sat with that feeling. It's so uncomfortable, painful, and experienced it in my body. Because we hold these negative and positive experiences in our body. That's when we're traumatized. It's an energetic experience in our bodies, in our minds, in our hearts. But that if we are unafraid, because fear is the grand illusion. Fear is the grand illusion. I mean, the only thing we really have to fear is we die, right? And we die, right? We die. That's what we do. That's what we do. We live, we die. That's just how it is. But if we can stay with whatever fear, whatever junk is coming up when we set an intention, and stay with it, and know and trust that God is all there is, that love is all there is, and not be afraid. Not be afraid. I'll share another story. I fell in love with a man, again, before I met Chad. But it wasn't reciprocal. And I fell into this depression, the kind where you just have no oomph, no thoughts, nothing, just separation, total separation. And one day, I was at home, and I had been listening to Pema Chodron's, what's the one, thank you. Or it's actually not that one, but another one. But they're all the same, right? It's all the same thing. I had been listening to her CD, and at one point I just felt the flood coming, and I just plopped myself down on the floor and just threw my arms open. I mean, it's not like it was a planned thing, it's just what happened. And I said, take me. And I allowed this pain to come. And guess what? It went through me. There wasn't Velcro. There was no sticky stuff inside of me. I gave in. I said, take me. I surrender. I surrender. I have no power over you. I have no power over you. And just surrender. And it passed. Facing fear. Facing fear. And then I also have to recommend, I became a practitioner in tapping EFT. It's a lot easier if you tap, because you don't have to feel the pain so much. But feeling the pain, if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. But it's in our energetic bodies, these pains that we feel, these stories that we hold, the traumas that we've experienced. But we have the ability to not be afraid, to be courageous, and to say fear is an illusion. And I am not here to live in fear. I am here to live in love. And so we manifest. We are the great creators. We co-create, we create, oh my gosh. And then we manifest. We manifest. And one of the things I really love about this chart is if you're like, oh my gosh, what am I manifesting in my life? I'm not liking it. You go back up here and you say, oh, what if it's in our deposit, Pam says. What are my core beliefs? What is driving this within me? And examine those. Living and examine life. And I think, and I know that that's why all of us are here. Because we're not just going along doing what we do. We're looking at our lives. We're figuring stuff out. We're coming to places like Inner Light. We're learning, we're reading, we're singing, or whatever it is, the creativity. And right now, because it's on my mind, I'm going to put a plug in for Pray-In, which starts the middle of February, the February 12th. It starts the week of February 12th. A place to come together in groups, small groups, led by practitioners here from Inner Light, and to learn the affirmative prayer process, to come together and do what? The power of 8, what Lynn McTaggart's talking about, changing how we see the world. So manifesting, and I might point back to this. Oftentimes, I'm one of the teachers for the Be the Change 2 class, and when I'm reading for the class, I'm going, oh, that's about creation. That's about what we do. That's the process. This is the process that we do. And we can choose this process. That's the beauty. We get to choose. We get to choose. So this book, you can get it for like $5 on Amazon. Reverend Deborah had a reading on it a few weeks ago, which is how I learned about it. The New Thought for a New Millennium, 12 Powers for the 21st Century. Barbara Marks Hubbard. I saw her in person speak a couple of years ago. Oh my gosh. She's this phenomenon. I think she's 87 years old now. And she sees that vision for the future, and she gets other people together of all sorts, of different talents, different works, brings them together and has them working together. It's a beautiful system, and she talks a little bit about it in the rest of the article that I brought here. But there is a new way. That we are part of a whole living system, just like if we were out in space looking down on our planet. There's something that I want to do. I like to do activities, exercises, things that bring us together, things where you go inside yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to, using the power of 8, which is a number that came to her, and I was an elementary school teacher for years, and I'd read somebody's curriculum, and then I'd just do whatever I wanted to with it. I'm one of those people. So I believe that 8 is not a special number. That is wherever 2 or more are gathered, wherever we come together with our intention. But the piece that she brings that is so beautiful is using the 5 senses, using your senses as you envision this piece. Last night when I was laying in bed and thinking about how I was going to do this, it was all very clear. Right now I'm just a muddle. I can't think of how I'm going to start this. Ain't that the way? Okay, so we are going to set an intention, a group intention, which is the part of the reading that we are envisioning a more mature, does anybody remember those words? Wise, more mature, universal humanity. That's what it was. More mature, wise, universal humanity. For we are in this together. And no matter what we see out in the news, the good that is happening on this planet far outweighs what we're reading in the news. I promise you that. There is no doubt. There is no doubt. There is no doubt. Yeah. My nephew is here from New York, and he was telling me that his cousin, one of my other nephews, has a corner office in Manhattan. And he was like, oh, is it all to yourself? And it's like, no. The work that he does, there's a long table. And there's computers, different people sitting at this table. People are not working in isolation anymore. That doesn't work. When we work together, we become more than what we can be if we're separate. This thing called synergy, that we come together. So when we synergize, that we become more than we can as separate beings. For example, our bodies. Think of all your organs, kind of go around, kind of take a little checkpoint with them. Where are they? Think of your organs, think about what they're doing. That we are in an evolution. That we didn't just pop up on Earth and go, boop, here we are. We came out of the muck with just a few cells, and as we transformed. That this synergy, if you took all our organs out and just laid them on a table, it's like, they just wouldn't work. They just wouldn't work. But synergistically, nature does it all the time. And guess what? We're nature. We are nature. We have this mind that can lead us to places where we think we're not. But we are nature. We are part of that divine creation. We are part of that divine creation. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through the process of intending together. And I'm going to step you through the different senses. And then we're just going to drop in for a few minutes in that space. So what I'm going to ask you, if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes, or you can just drop your eyes if you like. Let's just take a few breaths. We are here at this time, at this place where fear is ruling so much, so many thoughts, so many people. But we are here to hold the vision for what we know to be true about this humanity, that we are here moving forward into our greater yet to be, into the good, the love, the peace, the oneness. And in this place, we are seeing this vision of our next step of maturity, our next step of wisdom, our next step of universal humanity, that we are one. So breathing this in. Take a moment and use your sense of sight. What does this look like for you? What does this look like? Just go into that for a minute. What do you see in this next step? What do you hear? What kind of sounds do you hear? What do you hear in this place? do you smell? What kind of smells are there in this place of wisdom and maturity and universal oneness? What do you taste? What kind of taste do you have in your mouth? Sweet taste? What does it taste like? What do you feel? What do you feel with your hands, with your bodies, with your emotions, with your heart? What does it feel like? We're just going to stay in this vision. You can revisit the different senses just for a couple minutes. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And again, when you're ready, share what came to you with your neighbor. And if you don't have a neighbor, get up and find one, because we're neighbors. Go on over. Beverly, that's Leah over there. You'll love her. Go check in with Leah. On. Does anybody want to share? Sharing. Introduce yourself and stand up, please.
Hi. Hello. Hi, I'm Omri. And it was that was cool to do it that way, like all the different senses and kind of break it down. So the feeling sense, the touch sense, I guess it was at the end, the last one, felt like I was the astronaut that saw the planet from afar. And it felt like I was trying to describe it to my wife Laura here, and I said it felt like a velvet fog, like a cool quality, but like a nice texture. It just felt very like what would love feel like? Like what would something really soft and cuddly feel like? You know, like less, right? So that was kind of the sense of that. So that was my feeling. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Did you walk around with this one, or you can share? Anyone over here?
There we go.
There we go.
So I've been coming to Inner Light for a long time, and I come because this community is amazing, but I really come for Rev Dev. She's an amazing, amazing, amazing catalyst to very good words that always hits home. And when I got here today, I was like, she's not here. I remember she told me she was going to Jamaica, so I'm good for her. But today was the first day in that moment that I felt something here I've never felt before. It was like a guided meditation, and everybody was there. And I just share with my neighbors here, who are my lovely compadres. And they were talking about a world full of abundance, peace, love, clear communication. And I think that was going around in this whole room because that's what we're here for. We're all light workers, but we also dance in the dark, which is the duality. But what I felt and what I saw was only purple. And it's the most vivid purple I've ever seen in my life. And that is the color of healing. 2018, you guys, we're going to be getting into the healing. Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Aho.
Thank you. Anyone else? A couple more. We got one there, and we can have one more over here, too.
I saw what he felt was when we did the things of the scents and the smells, I could smell all the different kinds of food products that have been cooked all over the world in union for each other for celebration of this time of the year. And there were like Mideastern smells and Mexican smells, and I mean every kind of smell, like from Sweden, those like cookies and just every kind of smell. It was amazing. And then I could see in the eyes of the people that I was looking in so much wisdom and so much clarity and such confidence and such a knowingness that we are here for this time right now, which is of abundance and love and healing. And for the sensations or of the touch, it felt like a little kid fuzzy warm blanket. It was like really lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. One more? Here we go. We got it.
Thank you. My name is Ray, and she said it. When she said blanket, I feel like I was just being covered with this peace, and I was a little disturbed about halfway through Christmas because my daughter was affirming things that wasn't quite the way I'd seen it, and that peace, it reached it here, and it just covered me completely, and I feel so calm and so relaxed, and I feel your presence very strongly today, just covering the whole church, and it was just so beautiful. I just really want to say thank you. You did a wonderful job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you. I would like to, thank you, Chris. I would like to end my time by talking about the other. People talked about the dark, the shadow. There is no other. And that to heal it first within ourselves. If we try to go out there and fix it, we're just fixing. But if we heal within ourselves, if we learn to love. Years ago, again before I met Chad, life changed totally. The question that I had for the universe was, how do I love myself? How do I love myself? And I've been getting the answers ever since. This has been like 12 years. Ask, what is your question? What is your question? What is your path to healing? We each have our own individual paths. I had a physical neurological condition, which I still have. Neurological condition. I said that kind of fast, so I slowed it down. That I was like this and in pain. And I had my futon laid out flat, and I had all these pillows propping me up so that I could exist. But on that futon with all those pillows, I was reading. I was reading stories about healing. I was reading people's journeys. I was reading the doctors that step forth and say, you can change your body by changing your thoughts. You can change your body by loving yourself. And I remember reading these accounts and thinking, I wonder what my story's going to be. Because I was at the beginning and I wasn't looking so good. But just keep holding that vision. Holding that vision when you get drawn back in to, things are going bad, all this has happened, we all have it. We just have to look at the paper. But hold that vision. And loving ourselves. If that's the only thing we do in this life, I think we got it going on. Seriously. If we can see those parts of ourselves that we don't like and take them out and love them like you love a child. Love ourselves like we love our children, like we love our pets, like we love our parents, whoever it is you love in your life. To love what is here. And then we're just bursting with it. We don't have to do a thing, just be it. So thank you. This was wonderful. All right. All right, let's close with a prayer. Close this time. Divine Spirit, thank you for the juiciness of this day. Thank you for all of the souls, the spirits that are here right now, at any time. We know that you are the Creator and that we are your expression here on this earth, and that we are your evolution. That when we take you in love, when we take this love within ourselves, we see things differently. Our perspectives change. What we used to think was bad and wrong and scary, we can stop. We can take that sacred breath and pause and come back to this place that we nurture within ourselves, within the other. For there truly is only one of us here. To love your neighbor as yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself first. Because we are all brothers and sisters in this creation, in God, in Christ, in Buddha, in life. as Edgar Mitchell saw from outer space, this one planet. And our vision that if we work together, if we heal and love ourselves and spread that out to the other, without the fear, to feel that fear, to know that fear does exist, but that it is an illusion, that all there really is love and this peace that surpasses all human understanding. And so we give thanks. My dear mother-in-law passed, I think it was 16, 17 days ago. Chad's mom, Shar. One of the last things that she said to me was, God loves you, and I love you too. And the last day that she had any coherence, she said, thank you, thank you. And the last thing she said to any family member was, thank you, from the bottom of my heart. We give thanks for this divine spirit, Charlene, who has gone back to meet her Lord. So let us be, let us encourage, let us practice, let us build our faith, let us build our trust. Let us read, let us sing, let us go to lectures, let us, whatever it is that is on your path to do that leads you to this oneness, do it. Practice it. Sit in the silence. Sit and listen and ask. The answers are there. That's one of those divine spiritual principles. Ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and that door will be open to you. It will. Together with this consciousness, the consciousness of love, the consciousness of peace, the consciousness of oneness. Whatever dragons seem to be going on out there, they're just what's coming up because we've set our intention. And remember, when you set your intention, all the mucky muck comes up. So the mucky muck's coming up on a societal level, on a worldly level. But we're not afraid. It's just the mucky muck. It's the illusion that needs to come up, and we're going to love it. We're going to say, and we love you. I know you're having a hard time, and we love you. So thank you, Divine Spirit. Thank you for this opportunity to share, this opportunity to be together. For together, we are more. Peace, be still, and know that I am God. And so it is. Amen. This inner light of mine, let's do it.